BagFuel, baby.
Oh man, BagFuel, baby, we here. Esso's fresh off the private jet, the soul plane going crazy in LA.
Y'all can see my eyes. I'm just freshly back from California, but I'm here right off the red eye, you heard?
Ooh, my man. Oh, I said my man. My name is Hynaken. That's Esso. Make sure you log on to BagFuel.com. Sign up for Esso's school. You know, Esso University is every Thursday at 7 p.m. if you really want to get into this music industry. And then also we have multiple clothing collaborations that we got coming out to support a lot of the entrepreneurs and ourselves.
And if you want that, if you want those consultations, DM me. They only $3,500, but they'll change your life, you heard? Anyway, let's go.
Speaking of a person who likes changing people's lives for the better, doing the Lord's work, legitimately, we got Eric King in here. Nice suit.
Thank you.
Well tailored.
Appreciate
it. You don't got the Steve Harvey look. You know the old Steve Harvey suits.
I do.
How you feeling, man?
Good.
Good. You seem chill. Your car almost got towed while you're trying to save people and put money in their pockets. What's up, man?
That's life. Got to roll with it.
What's some of the craziest things that's happened to you as you're trying to become successful?
Well, cause I love coaching. I love to buy coaching. Sometimes you buy coaching and it doesn't work. And
what do you mean buy coaching?
Like for instance, let's say you pay someone to coach you on social media, for instance, and they don't do a good job. Now sometimes you think, okay, you know what? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not paying anybody. But that's just part of business. Sometimes you make a good investment and sometimes you don't.
How do you vet proper coaches though? That's the thing. Like, how do you do that?
Well, I love to look at the testimonials to see who they've helped and then check out their page. And that's not 100%, but it's...
Yeah,
but they can rig. I'm about to jump in. They can rig. Wait, hold on.
Yo, what's up, ass talk?
I'm jumping in. They can rig the testimonials.
Yes.
They can pull a camera up. They can get 10 of their friends and say great things about them, and you can't prove nothing about them. So beyond the testimonials, what is another way that we could vet? Because the only thing that people told me is, it's you just sometimes you pay your money and you win. Sometimes you pay your money and you lose. Like everything else, it's basically Russian roulette when you're trying to get a mentor, somebody that's gonna guide you.
Yeah. Well, you really don't know. You really can't tell for sure if someone's going to do a great job. When I say testimonials, what I do is I would go on the pages of those people that say their testimonials to see if it's
working for them.
Yeah, if it's working for them.
Okay.
So you vet the people, and you do like probably 3-layer questioning. If you have access to them, say, what have you done? What's your results been? So I think that's the best way. Like Esso said, like Esso has all his students and he's hold them to the torch. And there's real observable reality of their success growing. So that's probably the best way to.
But you can't add me on that, because I'll tell my students when they're not doing, like, I don't even want your money. Don't even come back to my class because you wasting my time. And most people who just keep taking their money, my class is about you gotta act. You gotta work, because if you're not going to do anything to make me look good and show people what I'm telling you is the correct thing, I don't need you wasting my time and my attention being in my class, or even diverting the people within the class because you're not on point.
So how do you coach people? What do you coach them on?
Well, I coach people in sales. So I've been a sales coach for about 15 years. So I help entrepreneurs, 2x, 3x their sales without being pushy and salesy. So, that's what I'm
being pushy.
That's the key, right? Because, anybody can do a hard close, but that long-term doesn't help.
So is it sales in general, or is it specific? Is it concentrated in a particular field?
Well, mostly for coaches and consultants.
So you teach coaches how to be coaches, is what you said?
How to sell their service. You see, you could be good at what you do, but not know how to sell it. Yeah. Right? So a lot of entrepreneurs are good at what they do. They're great at what they do, but they don't know how to sell it. In other words, they just meet somebody and say, hey, this is what I do. This is how much it is. Are you interested? They don't know the questions to ask. They don't know they're supposed to build rapport. There are a lot of things you need to do in order to sell your offer.
Is sales a gift, or can it be learned?
It's a learned skill. And the reason why I know for sure is because when I started, I was really bad at it, very bad at it. In fact, I was almost fired. I worked for Xerox, and 60 days in, I never sold one copier. I couldn't even sell paper. That's how bad I was, right? And I met a mentor who taught me how to do it and said, there's a system to it. You don't just go in and talk. And also I had the mentality that sales was convincing someone to buy something they don't need. So that mentality made me feel that I can never do that. But then when I found out that it's really more of helping someone get what they actually already need, then it changed my mindset and I started to become really good at it, became one of the top reps.
Is it a confidence thing? Like once you, because I've seen people not be able to, and then once they crack the code, then it's just like, they have the confidence and they go about to sell a little bit differently.
Yeah, success begets success. When you make a sale, you're like, I can do this. You make another one, like, I can do this. Now, if you're 100 sales in, you feel unstoppable, right? So, but most people never start. They never did it. They think, I can't do it, so they don't even start. But, you need courage to start, but confidence to keep going.
I feel like people who sell, that's all they do. And for me, it gets annoying when they're always trying to sell to me. And does it ever get annoying always needing to sell to somebody?
Well, it depends on how you look at sales. For me, I look at it as service. If I have an offer that can help you, I don't actually look at it as sell. I'm helping you out, right? But if you go around trying to just make
Is that
money,
what you was taught?
That's how I feel.
But you said that you had a mentor. Did your mentor tell you that you should feel that way, that I'm giving you something that you need, so I'm technically not selling it to you?
Yes. Yes.
It sounds like something a mentor would say. That's why I asked.
He didn't say it in that way, but he basically said, if you believe you're helping somebody, you'll do it with ease. Okay. But if you believe you're taking from somebody, it'll be hard for you to do it.
So it starts with your mental first.
Yes.
So basically you pep talking yourself and then you're preparing yourself to go out in the world and then you go sell. And I'm saying that because I say most black people don't plan. They're not planners. And I say right in my class, they don't go home and think about themselves or their business, what can or can't make it better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you doing that planning and that thinking at home first, that carries over to the streets or to the community or to your sales.
Absolutely.
So what were you being successful at to then present yourself as a person who can help other people be successful? Because it just seems weird to say, hey, I can coach you to sell, but there has to be some type of evidence of I need to trust you. So what were you doing?
Yeah, so like I said, I worked for Xerox for years.
Okay, that's a big notable company.
Yes, especially at that time. And I moved up to VP of sales at one point. And then I decided to start my own businesses. I started in my business. Then I realized that a lot of entrepreneurs, they're not good at sales. They're good at coming up with the offer with their business, but not good at selling. That's when I started the coaching of entrepreneurs.
So like, what was the steps? Like, how did you get your tribe? How did you put yourself out there? Because there are people who want to give the knowledge and don't know what to go about it. Because Esso, they were speaking to him over a year about getting a school ready. But then it's like there's steps to the order of operations. So how was yours, man?
So for me, it was more word of mouth at the beginning.
Okay.
Before I got on social media, which really exploded it. Absolutely. Yeah, so it was more word of mouth, going to, conferences, meeting people in coffee shops, things of that nature,
So you was...
And networking events.
So you were walking up to people and say, I can help you, or you just...
No, I would go to a networking event, where you tell me what you do, I tell you what I do, and then you say, oh, you know what, I may need that, and then that's how it starts.
And then you build it from there.
Yeah.
How much has social media helped your business?
Oh my goodness. I can't even put a number on it. It exploded my business. I have clients in Scotland, Switzerland, all over the world, and I could have never done that without social media.
How do you service them? Is it over Zoom?
Yes, the coaching program is over Zoom.
Yeah.
How do you build that connectivity through Zoom? Because I feel like you have to have a certain magnetism and personality to really grab them,
Yeah, much of it is building some kind of rapport when you meet with someone. Build a rapport, find out about their country, find out about what they like, and then have some common ground. And then before you ever get into a sale, and that's part of what I teach, right? You don't just meet people and want to sell them something.
When you're a coach, what's your system of getting paid? I'm not asking you the amount of money. How do they pay you? Is it monthly? Is it the retainer, and then it's bi-weekly? How do you end your services? What's the setup?
Usually it's just one fee. Sometimes we break it up into 2 payments or 3 if they don't have the money, as much money out there. But that's it. I never break it up more than 3 because I don't want to be a bill collector.
So if they pay you one fee, how long does that fee last with your mentorship?
With the coaching, it's 6 weeks.
Okay.
It's a 6-week coaching
Well,
program.
it's a 6-week coaching course.
Yes.
My mentorship program is a little bit different. Mine is more hands-on. So they get to shadow me and they call me one-on-one for advice before they go into meetings and like
access.
It gives you a way in
like
the door.
Talk about Steph and the BET
Awards.
I
just took my mentee to the BET Award weekend. You know what I'm saying? So everywhere I went, he went with me. He was able to get his footage. He was able to make contacts with people. People that knew him was surprised that he actually was with me in these places that I took him to. So he got to build all types of relationships. But with the same thing, you still gotta have money because you gotta pay me monthly. Mine is monthly. You know what I'm saying? So he paid me monthly, and then he has to fly himself out to BET Awards and get his own hotel and rent his car and come and pick me up. It's a mentorship program that's gonna move you forward fast, and then it's more about it's really in the business with my thing. Yeah. So you really gotta pay for your ticket. You really gotta pay for your hotel. You really gotta rent your car anyway if you're in the music business. Yeah. So this is your learning experience on hand. If you want to work with me, I ain't driving. You gotta pick me up. You know what I'm saying? So get used to it. You know what I'm saying? So mine is a little different, and I actually like the monthly thing because I don't have to cram things in. There's not as much of a rush. Yeah. If I had them for 6 weeks, I would feel like I got so much I gotta try to tell them or give them within 6 weeks.
Because I noticed that in y'all business world, it's very fast paced, intensive. I feel like the information is coming at a speed that can be overwhelming. But we're in the music business, so speed for us is different, with certain things. Like, is that just a natural thing for the coaches in the business world that?
Yeah, I think for coaches, they don't want to be a part of something that takes them a long time. So if I don't like it, let's say you want to sell your offer, right? And I tell you, well, it's gonna be 6 months. And you're like, I don't have that kind of time. I need to start selling. So because of that, you have to make it 6 weeks. You have to make it something where they can say, okay, I can have that kind of time. Even though it takes more than 6 weeks to actually learn it, but it's you have to do the coaching in a short amount of time.
It's like those real estate programs, become a real estate mogul in 5 weeks. They be like,
it takes a lot more than the knowledge to become a mogul.
But it makes sense. But this life thing is so difficult. Like even working a regular job with inflation, you feel like they say 90% of America is living paycheck to paycheck. Fat Joe said that even rappers are living paycheck to paycheck. So you're looking for any type of hope that can get you out of the hole. There's people who are making 6 figures and they're in the hole just because, life, medical bills, helping out families. So.
And 6 figures is not what it used to be.
No, that's, he's the first dude. He said it 5 years ago. 100K is nothing. Everybody's like,
I would be confused.
In the 90s, they used to say,
I'm so confused. 100K.
And they're still saying it now.
Okay, I'm not tripping because if everybody told me it's 100K, I'm like, why is everybody saying 100K? Like, that's a lot of money. You're broke.
The first time he said it on camera, he said, that's no money. You're broke.
You're broke with 100K. They was looking at me like, what are you talking about? I'm like,
this was years ago.
When I was making 100K, I was still broke.
Yeah.
This is what people didn't understand. So when people kept on saying 100K, I was like, I was making 100K in my sleep. And you can ask this man, I was complaining about money.
He's like, we're gonna be fucked up.
Even when I transferred to doing this potting, I had to dumb down my lifestyle. My lifestyle still isn't back to what it was. I was making way more money before I was potting. I was sitting at home, chilling, collecting money, and I was bored. That's why I started potting.
Like a bad month, like he would just call me, say, yo, I'm going downstairs to pick up this money.
Go pick up this money.
And then 2 hours later, a bad month for you was like, what, $9,500?
Maybe $7,000, $8,000. Yeah. And I was bored. And I was broke. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, so people be talking at 8,000, 100. I need a man
So
to
it
do
makes
six figures.
sense
You gotta
with
stop
the
it.
fast pace of the course now. We just cracked the code.
Now I started as a sales coach, but now I've actually transitioned to helping entrepreneurs speak on my stage. Because I have a studio where I bring people in to be able to share their knowledge with my crowd. And that's what I focus on now.
How does that help you generate finance though?
Does it help me?
Yes, because
Oh,
now
because
you...
they pay me to be on my stage. Right?
Oh,
So,
okay,
yeah.
bad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So they come
It
in.
costs.
They come in, right? We make videos of them, so they have the video reels. We give them the pictures. They get to hang out with us. Have breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. We network. So it's a whole package that we put together for them.
I think it's an ill reality to have access to all this money but no connections and nobody can see you or understand who you are. So of course them paying all the gentlemen here, because even the men that are off camera are providing them a space to expand who they are, because a lot of this is, aside from ego, it's also for the women. And I've always said it's
What's for the women?
the men getting this money and this success. Yes.
Oh, that's the number one thing.
Yeah,
For the
let's keep it real.
yeah.
And I've seen dudes who are in VIP and they're popping bottles and no one gives a fuck, and you can see the sadness in their face. That's so like, what the fuck?
And men do everything for the women.
Yeah, so I get it.
Absolutely.
How did you end up on ABC and NBC and getting your vibe and your energy out there? That's not a common thing.
Yeah, well, that's through the studio events, because people would, I guess, call the different stations, say, I'm going to be speaking here, and that's when they would come by. So that's how I got it.
Oh, so you're a superstar.
Well, I'm with you also. I must be a superstar.
I deal with people's mental and thought process more than regular questioning. Do you get disappointed when some of your people in your class don't do good or they don't make it like they should?
I do, but I don't let it get me down, because some people, no matter what you provide them, they won't do the work. Some people just want it easy. And I tell people it's not easy. Nothing's easy, right? Like if you were talking about, you mentor people, they fly down, they hang out with you and everything. But after that, they have to put work in, right?
Yeah.
If they don't do any work and they don't become successful, it doesn't,
But remember, I told you when it started, but I won't take their money if they do that. Because I don't want to be bothered. That's why I try to do my thing monthly, so I can see what they're gonna do. It's like if I have a singer, right? Right now, I wouldn't take my singer and put her inside the studio. I would put her on platforms to see if she's gonna work. If she's gonna do the social media work, if she's gonna do the collaborations, if she's now gonna post, if she's gonna do the videos by herself, because getting the song is secondary now. Putting your vibe out there is first, and putting the work and being consistent is the most important thing with anything right now, is just being consistent. And that's why I say, I'll be like, nah, keep your money. If you're not gonna go try to be number one, don't even come here.
Yeah,
that's important to me.
Sometimes you meet somebody and they have no enthusiasm. Like, okay, I'll try it out. I'm like, no, I don't think that this is for you.
It's not
because
for
I would
me.
tell them they're not going to do it.
Okay, exactly.
They're not going to do it. Or they say, well, so if it doesn't work, do I get my money back? I said, well, if you're thinking about money back, don't do it.
Don't do it. I would just give them their money back right then and there. But like, don't even stay here.
Don't sign up.
Because when people are paying, it's a dangerous thing. Because it's up to them to gauge what they think that they're supposed to get from this.
Yeah.
And if they don't get what they think that they're supposed to get, they'll go on social media, they'll try to ruin you and do all the rest of that stuff. That's why I'm so cut and dry. Either you're gonna do it, I'll take the money, or you're not, and I won't. Because my reputation and my standard is far more important than a couple dollars. If you give me the $3,500, if you sign up for $47 for my course, it's not valued the same way as my reputation is.
Absolutely, reputation is most important. I mean, I had a speaker that spoke on my stage, and she gave the presentation. She had 6 people, book a call with her. She had 2 speaking engagements right after. So she came back to my stage, did it again, ended up getting another speaking engagement, sold over 300 books, and she's excited. She's like, Eric, I made way more money than I thought I'd make. But then I have people that come in, they don't do anything after that day. They take all the video I gave them. I don't see anything on their social media. So I can't be mad at myself because I gave her the value I told her I would give her, right? So some people will use it and some people won't.
The testimony.
Because sometimes I think I gotta teach better when it's like that.
No. Some people just won't do the work.
So I learned too, and because I'm on both spectrums. There's things I'm gung ho about. There's things I'm laid back. People are nervous. They're overthinkers. Versus there are people who are doers immediately.
Yeah.
You know, they'll toss it out. But I think the step is what I see with people, they lack a certain level of comfortability. And they're also afraid of what the reaction's gonna be.
Yeah, the fear. They don't want to go out and do it because they're afraid they'll make mistakes.
Or they feel like people are gonna say something. People expect whatever they put out there, 1,000% positive reaction is supposed to come. And I'm like, you don't like every song that comes out, so why do you expect everybody to like you? That don't even work that way.
Yeah. No matter how, the more successful you become, the more haters you get.
Oh yeah. It's a key.
So you get a lot more people saying negative things about you when you're successful than when you're not.
So what's your background? I detect an accent.
Yeah, I'm from Nigeria originally, and I came here when I was a teenager.
How do you deal with the misconceptions or the stereotypes of your culture? Because you know it's the white envelopes.
Yeah,
my cousin had a baby.
You know what I do? I joke around about it. I said, "Don't take an email from Nigeria." Like, I would never respond to a Nigerian that sends me an email. That's for sure, because you're about to be scammed. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you a story. So when I was working for Xerox, we had what we call the demo room where all the new copiers were.
Yeah.
So you got a little fob, right, to get in. One day I forgot my fob. So I called this guy, he's a white guy. I said, can I use your fob to get in there? He said, where's yours? I said, I forgot at home. He said, wait, you're Nigerian, right? I said, yeah. He said, well, you can make this. You're Nigerian, you make this stuff. So I just laughed it off because we probably could, so.
But one thing I've never seen is a broke Nigerian.
Yeah, really?
What?
I've seen some.
I know a couple of broke
On
Nigerians.
purpose.
I've seen some.
And
I know people that ask
They
me for
got
money
some
that are broke.
in DC, definitely.
But Africans always have the best proverbs. This one, I've said this on camera before. I worked one gentleman, his name was Sarkodie, a big time criminal and thief. And he said, never be greedy for something that's never yours. And he ended up getting caught because he was extra greedy.
Yeah.
And because he's like,
So
whatever.
we know not to listen to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I learned that anything that's not yours, when people go for the extra greed, it always ends up weird. But if it's for you, you take all of it.
Yeah, there's a show called American Greed. I don't know if you've ever watched it.
I'm aware of it.
Yeah,
I haven't watched.
it's funny because they talk about these people that try to scam people for years, and eventually it catches up with them.
Yeah.
And it always catches up with the person. You know what I mean?
When you wasn't successful, what was your drive? What drove you to the success?
I didn't want to be broke.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to ask anybody for anything. I like good things, and I don't want to ask anything from anybody. I don't want to ask anything from my kids. Like, I just said, I'll do whatever it takes so I don't have to beg for money.
Do you like the camera? Is this something that you like to do? Is that why that you're using it to make your business better? Or is this just the next step from what the social media has done for you?
It's a necessity. Right? So I never wanted to be on camera.
Okay.
But then I realized that if I'm not doing videos, if I'm not putting videos out there, then nobody will know me, nobody will see me. And I was just talking about that yesterday, right? People trust you when they see you on video, right? I had a lady meet me on Zoom once, and we had a 30-minute meeting. Like 8 minutes into it, she said, "Oh, I have to go pick up my son. I totally forgot." She goes, "Go ahead and put your offer in the chat, your link. I'll pay for it, and then we can talk later." So I said, okay. So I put it in there. She bought it, and it was like, I don't know, 3,000. It was a lot. And, it wasn't cheap. And then later I asked her, I said, why would you just pay for something I didn't tell you what it's about? She said, because I've been following you for a long time, and I've been watching your videos, and I feel like I know you, right? So there's a need for that. That's how I got good at it. Yeah.
What you're saying basically is, like every other thing in life, your business is about adjustment.
Yeah.
And I don't think that people understand what the adjustment and the pivot and the being able to pivot can do for you in life.
Absolutely.
What has it done for you with you and your business and your success?
Well, with regards to the business, when I started in business, there was no social media. So you literally buy an ad in a magazine or a paper, and it's like this small. Most people that call you, they're not interested because they don't know you, they don't trust you. So it's like you're throwing money away. Now you can do a video and put it on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and then repurpose it and use it again. And there's so much you can do now for people to get to know you, to become more visible and to have more authority. So, that changed my life because not only did I use it, but I taught other people, and that's my business now, helping people do that.
So what made you pivot from a salesman to a coach? That's the pivot that I'm talking about.
Okay, salesman.
Yeah, because you were a salesman.
Yeah.
Now you decide I'm not going to be a salesman in that manner. I'm going to teach people how to be a salesman. Where did that pivot or adjustment come from?
First of all, I was selling for others. I was selling for companies,
Okay.
and I wanted to have my own business, right? And I didn't really have a product that I wanted to sell. And from time to time, I would give people advice because I'm good at sales, and they'll use their advice and say, "Well, Eric, thank you so much. That really helped me." So I said, well, maybe I should make this a business where I help people to be able to sell their offers. And that's how it became a business.
And where did you get your price points and everything from, being that you had never known it? Where did that come from?
I looked at the industry. I did some research to find out how much people charge. And I was...
Scaled it.
You managed it? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do for fun? You sound like a serious guy.
I was going to ask him, yo, bro, I was going to ask him the same thing. What do you do?
You should have seen me Saturday night. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, man, popping bottles? King of Zamunda.
Oh, my goodness. What do I do for fun?
But you shoot guns? You go bowling?
No.
He does sales in his sleep for fun.
That's crazy. But hey, why not at this?
I like the outdoors. I like going to movies with my girl, stuff like that, I like
Race cars? You look like you're a car guy.
I won't race cars now.
He makes money. That's all he do.
I'm a little stupid.
He like to look
Or
at
some
bank
business
account.
people that you enjoy observing throughout their business practices,
Les Brown is one businessman that I've watched over the years. Who else?
Give us your top 5 businessmen.
Yeah.
I was about to say one guy, but he's in jail right now, so I won't talk
That's all right. You just ask, man.
He has a long trial going on right now, but he was pretty successful beforehand.
Puffy.
He was really good at what he did.
He could sell.
But he just messed up. Yeah, he could sell. He could definitely sell.
He might be one of the best sellers in the music industry of all time.
I think the best seller on this camera for me is Gary V.
Gary V is
Gary V is the best salesman on the camera that I've seen because he has went into many directions, and the product is just about giving people knowledge and like he gives them the will to go forward. He makes them feel like that they can do it. It's as simple as you put the work in. It's something about his voice. It's something about the delivery that it just makes.
And you know what else he do? All the stereotypes that's been used throughout history to slow down your success. You're too old. You started too late. This ain't gonna work for you. He crushes all of that. Yo, Gary, I posted 5 times. It didn't work. Keep posting.
Yeah, he's no nonsense.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Gary is the reason why I started posting like that.
Mm-hmm.
One of my best friends has a close relationship with Gary, so I know Gary. I'm not gonna say that we're friends, but we know each other and we talk when we see each other. And he was one of the biggest people to endorse this show before anybody did. Period. He was the first one when everybody was saying the name was whack and all that. When Gary V said, "Oh, that name is fire," everybody changed their mind.
Yo, Eric, I was one of them.
He was one of them.
I did not
He
like the
hated
name
it.
of the
He
show.
hated it, right?
I can't sit here and be like,
Yeah. But GV was like, the more you post, he showed a graph. People show this graph now, but it's old. He showed the graph of when 4,000 people see your post. And he would be like, you think 4,000 people is nothing? If anybody has 4,000 sales of a venue, you got a lot of people in there.
mm-hmm.
If you have 4,000 sales, he said 10 sales times $4,000 is 40 grand. And I started looking at, okay, I'm gonna keep posting. The more you post, the more traction that you're gonna get. Everything's not gonna hit. He had me posting, no lie, 7, 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Then people would be looking, I'm doing push-ups. I'm posting. I'm waking up, I'm eating a certain meal, I'm posting clips, I'm posting whatever I could post of my life. And I actually help people get to know me.
And you know how he started, right, with the wine business, his
Yes,
dad's
the
wine
wine-
business.
yeah, the
and
wine-
he just felt, why don't I just go on camera and talk about this? And that's how it started. Right? So I like the fact that it didn't start by him saying I want to make money. It just started by him realizing.
It started about adjustment.
Yeah, he just adjusted.
That same
I think-
adjustment.
I think, yeah,
That business blew up.
It's
yeah.
adjustment and foresight, though, because
Yeah.
there's certain things that I have foresight with on a creative level, but when we did the show started, there's certain things he had foresight of that was needed, so the space goes too. So I think it's a beautiful combination to be like, all right, everyone's going this way. This is what's next. So you said Les Brown was one dude.
Les Brown, yeah.
Who else?
Grant Cardone.
I like Grant.
He's controversial, but he knows how to get the word out.
I like Grant.
He's good. He's good.
I want to interview
Yeah,
him.
he's good at getting attention.
For a guy that's
He said Puffy too.
Yeah, Puffy's there.
For a guy that's near 70, he moved like he in his 40s.
Yeah, I was on a stage with him like 6 months ago at the Speakers Bureau, and he's 80 years old.
He's 80?
Yeah.
Yo, he's up.
He
Yo.
celebrated his birthday like 2 months ago. He's 80
He's
years old.
up. You wouldn't
I
know
didn't know
it.
he was that old.
Yeah.
Because remember, back in the 90s, he was like in his 50s. Like we thought he was really young, but he was actually in his 50s back then. So yeah, he's 80 years old. Yeah, or late 40s, yeah.
What's your next step?
Well, my goal is to build my business bigger by helping more people to speak on my stage and promoting more people. The more people that do it, the more testimonials I get, the more people want to speak on my stage, and it keeps it growing from there.
Now, I'm going to say something that I say to all the people that come up here with their product, right? Or their sales or whatever it is. I feel like when I'm on the camera and people get to see a whole other side of me, it makes them want to come to my business.
Yes.
So I don't intentionally sell. And I'm gonna say this and something happened this weekend. A dude DM'd me about my consultation. I said, yo, it's $3,500, right? Woo, it's too much. He saw me at BET Weekend. Okay, he was in the party and saw how everybody knows me.
You see, you're missing parts of the story. See, he likes to water these
He saw
stories
who
down.
I'm rolling with.
No, all these famous women are around him.
Yeah, I'm in the section.
Yeah.
That helps.
And I'm the only one. I'm the only dude on
Then they're bringing him champagne.
They was bringing me drinks.
Then he stands on top of the couch.
Yeah, I was on top of the couch.
Because he's classic, and he's clanking the bottles together, drinking the champagne. And the man said,
and the dude walks over to me and says, hey, I said, what's up? I'm thinking you want to take a picture. He said, yo, I'm one of the guys that DM'd you for the consultation. He said, I'm gonna pay you.
Yeah. You have some credibility.
I get. You see, I'm popping for real. So you want to be outside with me? You want to mentor me? And then my mentor is right next to me. He's like, yo, bro, it's the best investment you can make in your life.
Yeah.
I'm his mentee. He's proud to tell people I'm his mentee, and I'm in this joint right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
so Eric, get in that Lambo. Throw bottles out the Lambo while you're driving fast.
I get more clients.
Huh?
I get more clients that way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
I got a real
Yes.
question though. Do you do events? Because all of these finance people, right? All y'all events be financial events, meet and greets, try to get other business. Do y'all do real events like
barbecues?
No, like a boat ride to just have fun?
I actually I did that last year.
Oh, really? Where at?
Yeah, in DC.
Okay, okay.
So it was a 3-day event. We had a gala night, we had a like a meet and greet kind of thing, and then we had a boat ride.
Yeah, but that's still like that's what I'm saying that y'all do. So you ain't doing what I'm saying. We gonna do a meet and greet. It's all I'm talking about. See, in the music business, it's all about building camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
So although we taking money from people for a lot of things, we always want to do stuff to just give back to them because in the mind of where we come from, if you have a good time, you're gonna want to do business with me.
That's right.
See, that's the different things with people in sales. There is no good time. It's all boring shit. It's all boring shit.
Okay.
I'm being honest. Say, let me know your name. Let me do business.
This is why
let me do this.
guys like Brendan Boyd is bringing the movie.
Wait,
That's
hold
what's
on,
talking
hold on.
about the movie.
No, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What I do, what they would do. That's still boring shit to me.
What you mean? Hold on,
That's
what you
not
mean?
events. That's not events. What I do with Angela Yee, that's not that's
Bro.
a business mixer. That's not in an event.
So
dog.
He can't say on camera.
That's not an event.
He
that's
can't
not.
say on camera.
What
That's
kind of
not
event?
an
Keep
event.
saying it's not. They're gonna be.
That's not. I don't care. I don't
What's
care
an
if
event?
chicks is there. That the vibe is you're coming to do business and you're coming to meet people to do further business. It's talking, and an event ain't no talking. It's drinking. It's partying. It's up. It's a vibe.
So
It's a vibe. You said what, Ghost?
Look where that got Puffy though.
You heard what he said, right?
Look where that got Puffy.
Hey, $1 billion.
In the
That didn't get him in. That didn't get him in jail. His own decisions and his lusting put him in jail. What he did, what he taught me, I was a Puffy for a few years. What he taught me is this. The reason why I'm successful on this camera is because of the music business. Yeah. It's not because of content. I'm not a content guy. So if I was a coach dude, I would never even talk about coaching up here. I would just let y'all feel who I am. And my clips would be about, I'm me. I'm the coolest nigga coaching. No, don't nobody know the shit I know. Nobody's gonna give it to you in layman's terms, so why not fuck with me? You wanna fuck with the cornballs or you wanna fuck with the real nigga? That's my pitch. It's over after that.
And that's excellent because you relate to people.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what would be me because not because of sales, because of what I learned. And the music business is sales too, but we sell differently. Yeah. So when I'm on this camera with content people, they don't sell like I sell differently. This is what I do. I'm not for everybody.
Is there a right way to sell though?
Huh?
Is there a right way to sell?
No, it's not. It's what, for me, it got to fit with your personality.
No, but what I'm saying is, right, success really drives where it goes. Remember years ago, people said a jump shooting team would never win the championship until Steph did it. Then it's all threes. But now Shea and them is shooting mid-range. I just think, I don't know.
No matter what you do,
right now.
You'll attract your tribe. So whatever system you can use your system and be successful. I can use mine and be successful. Not everybody will want to follow you based on what you do, and not everybody will want to follow me. Yeah. So it's not like one size fits all. People are
because they might be boring people. Boring people
will follow them.
Y'all boring people, stay at home, keep your money. Don't come out with me.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll attract some people and you'll repel some people every time.
Next event, my man Eric King does, we racing Lambos, yo.
All right, let's do it.
Racing Lambos and we chucking champagne out while we
I'm not coming because it's gonna be a gala weekend. I'm only coming on Sunday and I'm coming late right before the boat pull off.
Okay.
I don't want to meet nobody.
King.
I'm coming to party.
When people come and they want to change their life, what's the few words of convincing you can give them to take your coaching program?
Well, I tell them, first of all, I tell them they have to be serious, right? Because everybody says that. Everybody says the same thing that I'm serious. This is it. And this is my year. Right.
I hate that this is my year shit. I hate that. This is my year. I hate that.
We're 6 months away from hearing that shit.
This is my year. Right, yeah. So I tell them you have to take it seriously. I tell them I don't work with everybody. I tell everybody that I don't work with everybody. And because of that, they pay attention, right? Because I don't need the sale of you joining my program. I want to help you. Right, and then once they figure that out, we find out what they want. If I can do it, I'll tell them this is what I can do, and then you get them started. And again, like you said, if they're negative, if they're, well, I hired someone, it didn't work, I did this, it didn't work, then I'm not taking their money.
Gotcha.
Because they're gonna say the same thing about me.
Let them know where they can find you.
I got one more question.
Oh yeah, go for it, S.
I got one more question. What's the money commandment that you live by? Meaning something that you do to ensure you're always gonna keep money flowing into your pocket.
Constant activity, working strong work ethic. No matter how, if I have a great month, I don't take the next month off. I keep going.
Strong work ethic.
Strong work ethic.
Eric King live on BagFuel, man. Make sure you tap in with him and follow this man because he could change your life.
How can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm Eric F. King on all social media. And I actually have an ebook that I'd love to give all your audience. Successwitheric.com/100. Successwitheric.com/100. This book gives you 100 ways to market your business. I'm actually going to start charging for it very soon, but for now it's free. So grab it. Successwitheric.com/100.
BagFuel, like, subscribe, super things. Don't front. We don't just bring you rap music. We're bringing you insight into how to keep your money, how to get money, how to find money, and how to really deal with money.
And we got like 4 phone calls in the past week. Oh, the type of people that's trying to come on the show.
I don't
I know
even
he don't.
about
Yeah,
it.
of course you don't know. I know.
Yo,
It's in
BagFuel,
the
we
group
out of
chat,
here.
nigga.
Yo.